Have you ever heard of methane? Did you know that it's a major greenhouse gas? No? I'm not surprised. CO2 gets all the attention when it comes to climate change. But methane is actually the second largest driver of global warming, and it's 25 times stronger than CO2. It's responsible for about a third of the Earth's additional warming. And it doesn't just come from cows. Methane is released naturally into the atmosphere in two ways. The first and greatest source of methane are wetlands. The saturated soils of swamps, marshes, bogs, and peatlands contain microorganisms that break down organic material, and the byproduct is methane. The second comes from animals and insects with special stomachs. Termites, for example, are the second largest source of methane. It's because they eat so much organic material. Their stomachs contain microorganisms that break down wood, and in turn, a ton of methane is produced. Mammals like cows, goats, sheep, deer, bison, and antelope also have microorganisms in their stomachs to break down what they eat. Then methane is released when they burp. That naturally released methane is something the Earth is able to handle.
The big emissions of methane from the natural world was kind of balanced with similarly big, what we call destruction or uptake of methane from the natural world. What has happened then is, on top of this natural emission, we have added quite a bit of anthropogenic or human emissions, and they are not balanced anymore with what has been taking up. So
we now have triple the amount of methane in the atmosphere. In Canada, 40% of the human-produced methane comes from the oil and gas industry. It's unintentionally released in the atmosphere all the way from the point of fossil fuel extraction through the pipes until it reaches your car or your gas stove at home. And 30% comes from increased cattle farming. And the last 30% comes from our landfills. Heaps and heaps of organic material breaking down, releasing methane into the air. Now, a typical large landfill releases enough methane to heat roughly 35,000 homes a year. Now, the actual amount of methane in the air is far less than CO2. The problem is it's stronger. It can absorb 25 times more infrared radiation from the sun, holding more heat in the atmosphere.
Methane is much more active, so we call this a global warming potential. So for each kilo of methane that you emit, it's kind of the same impact as if you emitted about 28 kilos of CO2 over the course of 100 years.
That's right. Methane deserves much more attention. The good news is its lifespan is a lot shorter than CO2, so managing the methane problem is a lot easier challenge to overcome. Kristi Gordon, Global News.